Christian Horner's axing hasn't just shaken up Red Bull, it has shaken up the whole of F1, and there seems to be a huge bubble about to blow. Silly season is almost around the corner, and this one could get very spicy, with certain drivers moving to teams you might have never imagined, especially Verstappen and Russell. So, what's going to happen now that Horner is gone, and will Wolff finally win the long game? In the shadows of Silverstone, the Formula One world woke up to an earthquake. Christian Horner has been sacked as Red Bull's team boss and CEO. After more than 20 years shaping Red Bull's meteoric rise, from the glory days of Vettel to the reign of Verstappen, the man who built dynasties is suddenly gone. This isn't just a leadership shakeup, it's a crack in the empire. Horner's departure felt increasingly inevitable over the last 18 months, but the timing, right after a mediocre British Grand Prix, was cinematic. Horner, once untouchable, now finds himself relieved of his duties with immediate effect. He leaves behind a legacy of 8 drivers' championships, 6 constructors' titles, over 100 race wins, and now a fractured team, a driver in limbo, and a championship slipping through their fingers. Internal investigations, staff exits, Adrian Newey, Jonathan Wheatley, and Verstappen's growing frustration all set the stage. Leaks hinted at a power struggle across the Austrian and Thai sides of the business, and whispers say Verstappen's camp favoured removing Horner. Max Verstappen, F1's unbeaten spirit, 4-time champion, holds huge leverage. He hasn't just dominated races, he's become the axis around which Red Bull turns. Alone, he scored 4 poles, 2 wins in a season where McLaren is poaching both titles, and Red Bull sank to 4th. His teammates? Scattered ashes. Just 7 points between them after half a season, that's 12 full race weekend. Without their star, where is Red Bull? Essentially nowhere. Whispers deepened when reports surfaced. Max could walk. A mid-season break clause might let him leave before 2028. Conversations with Mercedes and Toto Wolff added fuel, as did George Russell, triggering talks, perhaps unintentionally, by comparing situations at Silverstone. Horner, in a rare defensive moment before his sacking, claimed, "His intention is that he will be there driving for us in 2026. It's inevitable that he's of huge interest to any other team." Horner may have spoken for peace, but his removal paints a different picture. Star driver or star leaving? The team's response has been swift. Laurent Mekies takes the reins mid-season, stepping up from Racing Bulls. Mekies is respected, but can he command the same authority or keep a crumbling house from falling mid-race? Let's pause and ask, was Horner's firing a desperate play to retain Verstappen or a reaction to his decision to leave? The logic of allies suggests the first. According to Max's manager, Raymond Vermeulen, "We were informed in advance. It's up to Red Bull to provide further explanation. We continue to focus on the sporting side. Nothing changes." Verstappen himself demurred at Silverstone when asked about switching teams. "That's right," he said. "That's why I'm contracted to Red Bull." He's chained through 2028, but performance clauses loom, and with uncertainty around Red Bull powertrains, hesitancy grows. But it's not just that. Every piece that allowed Red Bull to thrive in the last 4 years has fallen. Rob Marshall? Gone. Adrian Newey? Gone. Jonathan Wheatley? Gone. And now Christian Horner had to pay the privy. And here we arrive at the fork. Imagine Red Bull as a castle under siege. Horner's fall could signal the beginning of a new defense, sealing cracks before collapse. Or maybe it's the tower toppling, signaling that Verstappen has already set his sights elsewhere. Behind the headlines, the real question: can the Red Bull of tomorrow be anything more than the Red Bull of yesterday? And can they keep Verstappen on board? If not, what happens to the squad? The contract situation may make it seem to be an easy one, but those clauses could set in any time. So, the moment Christian Horner was axed, one man's phone must have buzzed before the headlines even hit the press: Toto Wolff. Because if you're the Mercedes boss watching Red Bull implode, you don't just sit back, you pounce. For months, Toto has been circling Max Verstappen like a hawk, quietly, persistently. But with the structure of Red Bull collapsing, and Horner, the final pillar, gone, there is suddenly room to strike. Verstappen may be contracted until 2028, but performance clauses buried in that deal give him an escape hatch. And now, the doors swinging open. The Silver Arrows are hungry. Lewis Hamilton's shadow still lingers over Brackley, but George Russell has stepped up. He's driven a very good season, as Horner reluctantly admitted himself. But ironically, it was Russell's own chatter that may have helped trigger all this speculation about Verstappen's future. Horner even accused him of trying to leverage his own situation to force Mercedes to commit. That speculation might have done more than that. It might have broken Red Bull's back. Here's the twist. What if it turns out that in a move that will shock the paddock, George Russell is going to Red Bull, and Max Verstappen, he's heading to Mercedes? Yes, the transfer bombshell of the decade. We don't just have a collapse, we have a swap of empires. George Russell, once Toto Wolff's golden boy, now becomes the first Brit since Coulthard to take Red Bull colours. And Verstappen, the Dutch lion, trades Milton Keynes for Brackley, stepping into the cockpit, once roared in by Hamilton himself. Just imagine the visuals. Max in a silver suit, Russell walking into the garage Horner built. But let's ask the real question. Why? Russell has grown tired of waiting. He knows Verstappen's shadow looms large. Even with strong drives, he's seen Toto entertain Max openly. That gets into a driver's head. And Red Bull? They needed someone, anyone, who could lead the team if Max left. Russell isn't Verstappen, but he's young, fast, and, most importantly, available. And Max? He's tired of dragging a broken car uphill. Tired of watching key figures flee, Newey, Wheatley, Marshall. Tired of trusting a future built on Red Bull powertrains. A massive challenge, even Horner admitted, might not pay off until 2027 or beyond. He wants a team with legacy, stability, and resources to build a 2026 winner from day one. Enter Mercedes. Toto Wolff's project isn't just about rebuilding, it's about reclaiming dominance. With Max on board, he's got the ace, the guy who turns average cars into trophies, the driver that scares McLaren, Ferrari, and everyone else on the grid. The fallout? It's nuclear. Fans will feel divided. Verstappen and Red Bull loyalists could feel betrayed. Russell's critics claiming he's sold out. Red Bull insiders are scrambling. Mekies is now tasked not only with managing a team mid-meltdown, but with guiding it to retain Verstappen. What happens next? We'll have to find out if it does happen. Could Russell rise to the occasion at Red Bull? Will Max gel with the Mercedes engineers? Or will the culture clash ruin the experiment? Can Toto Wolff deliver a car worthy of Verstappen in the new 2026 era? More importantly, has Red Bull truly lost its soul? They once were the rebels, the disruptors, the energy drink upstarts who shook up Ferrari and Mercedes. But now, their star driver is gone. Their founder is gone. Their technical gods are gone. Horner? Gone. This isn't a team entering a new era. This is a team entering survival mode. And through the smoke, one question remains. Does Max jump off a sinking ship, or does he try to rebuild a broken team? You tell us in the comments.